Welcome to Dotegy. With this webinar, we're going to cover how Dotegy helps with your portfolio strategy. It's best to view this webinar after how to use the basic Dotegy services, as the core principle of uploading your portfolio and creating some basic information is key to getting the most out of this function. As usual, let's start by logging in. What we have here is a system created after the webinar how to use the basic Dotegy services. So it's not extensive but provides enough information for us to demonstrate the power. Let's go directly to the left-hand side Portfolio Strategy menu option. On expansion of this menu, you can see the following options: Domains, DNS, SSL, Whois, Intelligence and Guidance. So let's click on Domains and see what we have. At the top of your screen, you have important management information such as the number of domains in your portfolio, number added in the last 30 days, most common extension in your portfolio, and most common string. Remember, string means the part of the domain name before the dot. Just below that, your portfolio is organized to show the information in a different way from traditional interfaces. In the first column, you can see the overall number of reservations for the string that is in the second column. So here I can see I have 2 registrations for the string Dotegy. The remaining columns to the right are all extensions in your portfolio. Each of these cells has important information. A tick indicates that you own this domain name, but a cross indicates that you do not have this string plus the extension in your portfolio, for example, facebook.fr. A little web cloud indicates that an active website has been detected for this domain name, and if you click on it, a separate window opens with the website displayed. A padlock indicates an SSL has also been detected on this website. It's with this view of data that you can see the potential gaps in your portfolio and ask yourself the question, if I have facebook.com, why do I not have facebook.fr, to use our example? The reasons might be many, but you can find out more information by clicking on the cross and letting Dotegy perform some immediate research for you. The first check is always, is this domain name available? If it's available, you can click on the Buy button that will be to the right, and Dotegy adds this to the Register function you can find under Portfolio Management. As demonstrated in how to use the basic Dotegy services, this prepares the name for an availability check and cost analysis for potentially adding the domain to your portfolio. This check for cost is not immediate, as you can add several domain names as part of the process we're going through right now. If the domain name is already taken, a watch is proposed to the right. What is a watch? Well, these are additional Dotegy services. If the domain name has an active website, watch website is proposed. If the domain name does not yet have an active website, a watch activation is proposed. These two services are similar in that each night they perform a check against the website or domain name and alert you when something changes. In the case of domain name activation, you are alerted when a website is detected as having been created. In the case of watch website, you are notified of every content change to this specific web page, including a before and after set of changes that have been made. Continuing down, a domain name that has already been registered will have active Whois. If that Whois is publicly available, it's presented here. Likewise, if an active website exists, a screenshot of that website is available just below the Whois information. At this point, a further Dotegy service is proposed, that of Spider Website. What is that? Well, it effectively takes a single domain name and tries to find all the web pages for this website, not just the home page or the landing page, but all the links to other pages. This is known as crawling or spidering a website. Once you have a list of URLs for a website and not just a domain name, you can then search all the pages for keywords or logo usage. Very handy if you've spotted a counterfeiter using a domain name similar to your own, and they may have multiple pages on a website offering products or services. If you click any of these options, the services are added to your shopping basket at the top of the screen and remain in this basket until you go through the checkout process. Let's take a quick look at that now. As you can see, I have one service in my shopping basket. At this point, I can ask Dotegy to just generate me a quote that I might need validated, or I can directly proceed to creating an invoice. Quotes can be later turned into invoices once validated, but have a lifespan of 30 days. Once you have an invoice, the services in your shopping basket are created and will become effective that night. Going back to our portfolio strategy options, we're going to select the second option, which is DNS. Once again, we're presented with important management information at the top of the screen, such as any domain names not pointing or resolving to an active website, any domain names using web forwarding, that's 301 or 302 web forwarding, and the most popular destination for web forwarding in this portfolio. This helps you at a glance to see if any domain names in your portfolio are maybe not pointing where they should be. Below that, we have a list of our domain names and what are they doing for us. What does that mean? Well, in general, and less defensive, you purchase domain names to point to websites and attract visitors. Those technical methods of pointing are shown here, and maybe more importantly, where domain names that should be pointing to something are either not pointing anywhere, pointing to a registrar holding page, or pointing to the wrong website. Back to the menu, and this time we select SSL. Once again, we're presented with quick management information at the top of the screen. Information such as the most common provider or issue of certificates in use, the most common duration of certificate purchased, the next expiring certificate in your portfolio, and that date. Below this, we have another grid of information like DNS, this time presenting any SSL certificate information found for your domain name portfolio. This is a convenient way to help reconcile all the public-facing SSL certificates in your portfolio. Back to our menu, and now Who Is. As before, the top of the screen shows key management information such as most common registrar, the most common used email address, address normally, contact information. It's really important that Who Is information is kept up to date. If you have out-of-date information, it greatly increases the risk of danger to your portfolio. Registries do issue communications direct to the owners of domain names, and in extreme circumstances, if they hear no response, delete that name, meaning your website will no longer be on the internet with this domain name. Back to our menu again, and this time Intelligence. Intelligence presents you with information about your portfolio, such as the annual cost, assuming 1-year registrations, and with complete pricing information. It also compares the portfolio cost if you were to potentially take it to another supplier. In this example, we are looking at a fictitious price for a provider called Askio. And we can see we are missing one price from the supplier price list we uploaded in the webinar, How to Use the Basic Dotegy Services. We can see any domains expiring in the next 30 days, highly important that your registrar remembers to renew these, and any domain names with critical statuses such as pending delete or pending expiry. Back to our menu and to guidance. Probably the most detailed parts of the Dotegy portal in terms of information it provides and potential usefulness to the Domain Name Portfolio Manager. A separate webinar is available dedicated just to this subject. As a quick explanation, we can see the management information, but this time it's presenting potential problems that should be fixed in your portfolio to make it healthier. Below this management information, we have a radar chart showing each facet to your portfolio and how good or bad it is perceived to be, with an overall Dotegy health score. 100 on any single axis means that particular facet is perfect, and in this case I'm doing okay because I have a small number of potential issues, but my portfolio is also very small as well.